Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. We're downsizing. I don't know. We'll talk about it in a minute. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, fabulous. God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever does not, just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Autumn Fields Lenore Men deck by Hattie Thorne. You can find all of Hattie Thorne's decks at hattiethorne.com. She also has an Etsy shop, okay? Beautiful cards. I actually just got an email. I didn't see it till I got home. It's like Under the Sea. She didn't call it that. She called it something else, but it's like sea creatures, but as human. I don't know. It looks interesting. I gotta look at them. I didn't look into it, but she sent me the email, so I will look at it. Probably not one that I would get, I wouldn't think. Or if I did, like, I'd probably just get the Oracle deck, since Oracle is my thing. I'm getting better at the tarot. I'll give myself that. I just think when I look at the tarot, I don't always see what it's supposed to be. Like tarot is technically specific, whereas Oracle, you get a card with an orange on it, and it says summer. Like, you could interpret a million things, right? But when you get like the Lover's card for tarot, it's either some type of romantic union, some type of partnership, could be in business, right? Like, it's kind of specific. But sometimes when I look at some of the cards, like, I don't get what that's supposed to be. I get something else. We got 4 on the table. It's supposed to rain. It was supposed to start like 2 hours ago. I don't know what's going on. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. I want to go to the outlets and go shopping, go to the candle shop. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I make it there. I have to go right away and then come back because I have an appointment with Danielle, my piercing lady. She's going to extend my earlobes and change my septum ring. Hopefully. I don't know. I never know. She has a list of like what you should choose. And I always choose like a 15-minute because it's like a jewelry change. But I know it's going to be more than 15 minutes. And then she won't charge me sometimes. I'm like, charge me. No. I'm like, yes. No. It's your job. It's your business. It's just like the lady that works at the Volo antique shop. She's like, oh, give her 30% off. No. And don't get me wrong. I bought a lot of stuff from her like last year and the year before. I don't go there as often anymore. I mean, I love going there, but I don't go there as often anymore because I would probably spend, the lady that does all the art that I have in here, like, she's always putting out new stuff, and I could go crazy. I could spend hundreds of dollars every time I'm there. And Bridget, who does the little drawers and stuff that I put all my cards in, like, and I bought my haunted cabinet there. No, it's your small business. I'm not gonna take 30% off or whatever the hell it was that she offered. And it was funny because she left. She told the lady behind the desk that, and I just bought like 2 or 3 little things. I think I spent like $60. And I told the lady, I said, do not give me that discount. And she looked at me. She's like, but Bridget said. And I looked and said, I don't care what Bridget said. I said, do not give me that discount. I said, She's a small business owner and she deserves all that she makes from her business. If it was Target, I'd be like, yeah, give me 30%. I'm literally, when was the last time I went into a Target? I think it was last Christmas, because the bosses at work gave us gift cards for Target, and I ended up going in there and spending like $50 more than I should have. We got 5 on the table. I hope everybody's having a good day. It was free ice cream day at work. Everybody was excited because it was hot as hell in there. And then I don't know what the deal is. Like, they all know that the warehouse is hot. The office is nice and cool. They have air conditioning. Okay, fine. That's a given, right? They have visitors come through there, all that stuff. Of course, it's going to have air conditioning. Our break room has air conditioning. The break rooms for shipping and receiving have air conditioning. Our bathroom is supposed to have air conditioning, but like some days it seems like it works. Some days it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it just depends on the heat, Because in the winter it feels like it's warm, like it's getting heat, but in the summer it doesn't really feel like it's getting air. I don't know. Maybe they need. I mean, it's the same vent, right? I don't know. Anyway, the lady in the office, who is the daughter of one of my favorite people in our department, an older lady, for some reason she tries to what is it? Shit, what is it called? Not narcissism. What is it? Where they not placate. Oh, everybody uses this word. What is it? What is it? She said something to me, and I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "I'm just hot." She said something. She said something about our bosses, and I said, "The bosses are fine." I said, "It's just hot up there." And she looks at me, and she gives me this look, and she goes, "You're wearing a hat." Yeah, yeah, I was wearing a hat because my hair was soaking wet, and I looked disgusting because I was so freaking hot. Like, I was literally dripping sweat everywhere. And I said that to her. I said, my hair is disgusting. So what? I'm wearing a hat. You're telling me because I'm wearing a hat, that's why I'm hot? Everybody in the warehouse is hot. And they did free ice cream day. They have literally one little freezer, like one little stand up freezer. They stuffed it full of cases of ice cream. Okay. Instead of taking them out of the boxes and then being able to fit more in there. No, they put the cases in there. I know one person, one young man from our department who had at least 4 or 5 ice creams. There are 800 plus people in our warehouse that come in and out all day long, including drivers, including the office people, and all the warehouse people. First, second, we kind of have a third shift, but it's like half second, like half its own shift. You're gonna realize how hot it is out there when you see how much ice cream you go through today and tonight. Guaranteed. And I don't know why she has to act like she doesn't know it's warm out there. It's a warehouse. It's a warehouse. I don't know if I told you guys this. We just learned on Sunday that some of the warehouses south of Illinois, southern Illinois, and below, so like southern states, wherever they have warehouses for our company, are going to do trial runs of air conditioning units, like industrial size air conditioning units. And I'm assuming we would, like down in the South, like they basically need them pretty much technically all the time, although maybe a few months in the winter not. Whereas they want to give us one eventually. I mean, we would need it like what, 4 or 5 months out of the year, maybe 4 months, maybe. Because I want to say, like, even like up to the last 2 weeks before that, it was fine. It was bearable. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was kind of warm, kind of not. Sometimes it was chilly in the morning and then warmer in the afternoon, But like the last 2 weeks have been pretty warm, which, in all honesty, for June in Illinois, the last couple of years, June in Illinois has been pretty cool. Like, we haven't experienced heat like this in June in a couple of years. So it's nice because, it's, like more summer as opposed to like more spring, but it takes a toll on you when you're working in a warm warehouse. Never mind the fact that we have industrial sized, I don't know what you would call them, but they're vents. They're huge vents in the ceiling, and there's like two at the end. There's probably like 8 in the center of the warehouse, maybe 10, and then there's probably 2 all the way at the other end. And basically, you open them up for ventilation, and it's supposed to pull out the hot air, right? Let in, well, not let in the cool air because there is no cool air, but it's supposed to pull out the hot air. They don't know how to run them. Nobody ever told anybody in the warehouse, not a supervisor, not a manager, nothing. Nobody knows how to run them. And 2.5 years ago, because it's been a while since they turned them on. The last time someone turned them on, they went to turn them off and they wouldn't go off. So when that happened, they freaked out and they figured out how to turn them off, and then they never turned them back on. Because the last shift leaves at like 11 or noon on Saturday, and from Saturday afternoon until about 8 o'clock Sunday morning, there's nobody in the warehouse other than maybe maintenance. I think they come in at like 6 or 7 in the morning on Sunday. There's nobody in there. They could turn those bad boys on Saturday afternoon, leave them running until Sunday morning. Somebody can turn them off, and it would probably be like 15, 20 degrees cooler in there. I'm just guessing, but seriously, there's no common sense there. And again, the lady in the office, the daughter of my friend, like, why are you acting like you don't know the warehouse is warm? 800 people here, they all know it's warm. It's like she gets offended. I'm not telling you you have to go sit in the warehouse for 10 hours of your shift. I'm just telling you it's warm out there. We got 7 on the table. Okay, I've been blathering for 13 minutes. 8 on the table. Let's do one more shuffle. Ooh, we got 10 on the table. 11 with bottom of the deck. I love this deck. Oh no. What is this? What is this? What is this? We've got Lighthouse. What is this? We got Owl. Anchor. We got Mirror. I love those flowers. Cross. We got House. We got Sun. I'm going to post something after this reading to posts. And I would love comments because it's a theory. And I was thinking of it today. And I literally thought of it. And I'm like, have I heard this theory before? I don't know that I have. I mean, it could be out there, but I don't remember hearing it. And I'm going to post it to post after I'm done with this reading. Because it's an interesting theory. I don't necessarily believe it, but it's interesting. We've got Birdcage. It's about God. And if you have no interest, then, but it's also about like other stuff. We got man. This dude keeps falling out. Like every time I do a read with this deck, we get a man. We get a man. Bear. That can't be good. When you have the man and the bear next to each other, like which one are you going to choose? I was watching a guy. He did it. Hold on. Scythe, bottom of the deck. Feminine, masculine. Take how it resonates. This man can be a woman, a feminine, a female. I was watching this creator on TikTok, and I actually followed him because of his post. He was doing a post about how they're doing the man of the year, and it's all these men making these really shitty comments about women and their girlfriends and their wives, and just acting like complete and utter assholes towards women. And he got on there and he's like, all y'all posting these videos, these man of the year videos. He's like, now I understand why these women choose the bear. And I started laughing. He was hilarious. And he was very calm. He's very calm and collected, and he's talking. And then all of a sudden, I think he was in his car. All of a sudden he slams his hand on the steering wheel and he shouts out, I don't know why I'm being so calm and collected when I'm really angry. And then he just like starts like this whole rant about men. And it was hilarious. If you follow me on the talk, I reposted it. But I went and I followed him because I thought it was funny. All right. Enough jibber jabber. So here's the thing. Whoever this reading is about, it's about somebody that is like we literally have it twice with anchor and house. Somebody that's stable, somebody that's successful with the sun. With the mirror card, somebody that's self-aware, somebody that holds themselves accountable. With the cross, this is somebody that takes on spiritual lessons. This is someone that continuously grows spiritually, okay? Someone very, very wise with the owl. It's funny, it says wisdom, intuition, foresight. Wisdom is what stands out to me the most. I'm just going to be honest. Like somebody is very wise. It's very cliche, but beyond their years. That could be because they've lived a long time, over many lifetimes, right? You tend to intuitively, see, wisdom, intuition, foresight, you tend to intuitively know things from lifetime to lifetime. At least I believe that. I think I've told you guys before, like when I was a kid, like I always just knew how to cope, and I don't even know that I would say heal myself. I mean, I guess. I think as a kid, when you live in the kind of situation that I lived in, and you experience the kind of things that I experienced from a young age on, you just kind of, learn like, okay, well, it's just another bunch of bullshit, like go to bed and wake up for the next day kind of thing. I've even talked before about being raped 3 times, being sexually assaulted 3 times, and how it kind of comes off as a disassociation. It's not though, because I still feel it, it still upsets me to a certain extent, but I can talk about it because it's like it happens so many times. It's just like, oh, right, yeah, this guy's going to rape me. Like you just get it in your head, like, okay, well, I just need to figure out how to survive this to get through to the next thing. I don't know if you can see it. Just survive somehow. It was actually a quote from The Walking Dead. The character Edith, who is in one of the later seasons. I don't know if you guys ever watched it. She was with her parents, and they both got killed. I think her mom turned into a zombie. I can't remember. And I think she had to kill them. I can't remember that either. But she was on her own, and she had to survive by herself on her own in the zombie apocalypse. And she was only like 13, 14, 15, something like that. She was all alone. And she used to write all the time, JSS, JSS. And when she got with the group, someone asked her what it was, and she told them what it was. And I had my tattoo guy tattooed on my arm because we all have to survive through life, right? We all have to survive through things. But yeah, I am a firm believer that you intuitively, subconsciously remember things from past lives as you go along. I don't want to get into crazy here, but I've told you guys before, I don't talk about it that often, but I've told you guys before that I believe in a past life that I was Aphrodite. That being said, there are many lifetimes, there are many timelines. So I personally believe there were many Aphrodites. I wouldn't believe that I was the only one. But I believe in a past life I was Aphrodite. In 2022, I literally woke up one morning and I wrote on my water bottle for work, Aphrodite, and I wrote it downward on my water bottle. I didn't write it across. I wrote it downward. And I had that on my water bottle for probably a day and a half. And one of my old bosses, who's now not a boss, he's just works in a department like anybody else. He took a step down. He's like, "What does that say on there?" And I'm like, "Aphrodite." And he goes, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "The goddess of love." And he looked at it, and then he looked at me, and then he looked at it, and I was like, "Whatever, man. I gotta go back to work." But I walked around with that on my bottle for probably like, I don't know, 3, 4 months. I rewrote it on there. I know that because it started to wear away, and yeah. Anyway, I believe we remember things from past lives. Yeah, I said this person has self-awareness. They take accountability for their actions. This is somebody that looks at situations and they ask for clarification. So like if somebody was at work and somebody brought them some paperwork and they're like, "Hey, can you do this paperwork and file this report?" And they look at it and they're like, "Well, can I ask you a question first? Can you tell me this, that, and the other?" It's somebody that's like not afraid to dig deep. It's somebody that's not afraid to ask questions. Lighthouse, guidance, illumination, clarity. This is someone that doesn't want to be left in the dark. This is someone that is okay asking for support, guidance, help, right? Like this is not somebody that would be like, "Oh, I don't want to ask so and so. I don't want to be a bother." No, they're literally going to go up to them and be like, "Hey, can you give me a hand? Can you help me out with this?" This is somebody that, with the man card, the bear card, and the scythe card. I say scythe. Is that not the right way to say it? I say scythe. Scythe? Skith? I thought it was scythe. I don't know. This is somebody that has had issues with relationships in the past. And it doesn't even, with the man card, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like lover situations. It could be family, it could be friends, coworkers. Somebody that has, with the bear card, has had a hard time protecting their energy, saying no, putting themselves first, right? We've all been there. We've all done that. With the scythe card, this is somebody that decided, you know what? Like, I'm going to give you 2 chances. And if you fuck me over after 2 times, that's it. You're gone. You're gone or I'm gone. One or the other. And it was almost like a snap decision. Like, one morning, this person woke up and was like, I'm sick of dealing with these fucking people. Like, I'm sick of dealing with these jerks. You know, when you tend to be an empathetic person, when you tend to be caring and loving and giving and nurturing, leeches, energy vampires, dark witches, they will take advantage of that. They will take advantage of that. They will latch onto that and take advantage of that. No issue doing that, right? Some people just don't give a shit. Like, they will take everything you have and leave you lying on the ground, nude, penniless, no energy, starving, dying, and still be like, hey, what else you got? Been there. Been there. On and off my whole life. And I'm sure you have too. This is someone that's no longer afraid to separate themselves from those that do not support them, from those that do not value them. I just heard as contributors to society. Some people go through this life contributing nothing, next to nothing. You know, like, they just walk through life like, you know, like, I'm in it for me, and that's it. I don't care. You got some people that walk through life giving as little as they possibly can to make it seem like that they're a giver and a lover, right? When really, in reality, behind the scenes, they're just taking. They give that much, but they take that much, right? Well, that was kind of weird. Like, they take that much, but they give like that much. That makes more sense. This is somebody with the birdcage realizing that when they were in these connections, that it was limiting them. It was limiting their potential. It was putting restrictions on their own energy, their own power, right? Their own livelihood. This would leave you feeling trapped. If you're constantly giving to everybody else and nobody's giving anything back, how are you going to get anywhere or do anything? You know? You feel like you're stuck. And I don't really like that word, but you feel like you're stagnant. Sorry, this wasn't a love read. That was yesterday. Go watch yesterday's. It came out in both reads yesterday. Go watch yesterday's reads. That was about love. This is about loving thyself. Okay? This is about somebody releasing burdens, People are burdens. Let's just be honest. Again, energy vampires, soul suckers. Like, that's a burden. That person is a burden, whether you want to admit it or not. They're, whoever this is, they were releasing burdens so that they can bring in and accept their own challenges. You can't work for yourself and better yourself when you're constantly working for others. And don't get me wrong, like I still haven't done it, but I've talked before about volunteering, and I donate every month to a bunch of charities. And last year I donated my hair, and I signed up. I signed up for this web. I still can't find it. This website where you can put in your state and your county and where you live, and you can volunteer for things. And I still can't find the freaking website. I thought I saved it, and I never saved it. I literally went in and created an account and everything. Yeah. You can give and give and give and give and give, but how are you going to create for yourself if you're constantly giving your energy out to others? And don't get me wrong, God appreciates the love that you put out there. The charity. I don't really like that word either, but when you give, God loves that. But at the same time, like, you need to balance that, because you need to give to yourself. You need to give to yourself. You need to create for yourself. So when you're balancing out your life, if you look at it as 100%, really, when you think about it, you should be investing probably like 70-ish% into yourself. Whether that's self-care, meditation, grounding, physical work like working out, diet, culture, reading, watching documentaries, movies, whatever the case, watching tarot, maybe, and creating for yourself. Are you writing books? Are you writing your life story? Are you doing a documentary about your life? People want to hear about your life. What do you have to say? Everybody loves an interesting story. Was it Garrison Keller, the guy from Minnesota that always did the stories about growing up? I think right, Garrison Keeler. I think he got, like, didn't he get nixed because he was involved in the. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. I want to say he got in trouble because somebody accused him of sexual assault or something like that. Because I haven't heard much about him, but I remember being a kid. He used to put out the audio tapes on cassette, and my grandparents would buy them, and when we would drive around in the summer on vacation, they would play them in the car, because my brother and I would sometimes drive with them instead of our parents. And he had some of the best, funniest stories. Tell your life story. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Again, if you have something to write something. If you have something to draw, paint. If you want to make a movie, make a movie. The creation there's no limit. You can create whatever you want. I'm just saying you should be putting most of your energy into you. If you're putting 70% into you via self-care and creation, that leaves you 30% to give to charity, to give to other people like friends and family, spouse. Yeah, your kids, you're probably going to want to give a little bit more energy there. I get that, and spouse too, probably, right? But I'm just saying, like, you should be giving more to yourself than anybody else. Yeah, we're going to argue about the kids till the end of time. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of them. To a point, I know. I don't want to argue about it. All right. I'm going to leave it there. This was interesting. I really like this. This was good. I really looked at this and was like, oh no, here we go again. He always pops out. This is like the fourth or fifth time, I think. He's always there. And last time the man and the woman popped out. Anywho, I hope it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope you all have a great evening, day, whatever, wherever you are. I hope you're enjoying your life as much as I am. I'll talk to you later. Bye.